Regular viewers to the channel will know that we have been in conversation with visitor engagement at the Royal Engineers Museum in Kent, with a view to tracking down some further detail of the deployment of the 219 Corps Field Park Company during World War II. Our interest in this unit stems from the 1939 to 1946 military service of a family member born in April 1919 and who passed away on the 21st of July, 2000. I am going to read you the entry in the family history book, written and privately published by his sister, and clearly dedicated, at least in this clip, to the Corps of Royal Engineers. Wilfred Charles Allen was the son of Charles and Beatrice Allen. Early in 1939 Charles tried to get into the Navy, but was turned down because of his eyes. So on the 19th of April, 1939 he joined the Territorial Army, where he became number 2069387 in the 219 Corps Field Park Company of the Royal Engineers. In the summer he went for a fortnight's camping at Old Park Farm, Canterbury, where he was made Lance Corporal. On the 1st of September, 2 days before war was declared, he was called up. In the second week he was made Corporal, and in the third week he was made Sergeant. He spent 6 weeks at Bethnal Green, 6 weeks in Finchley, then went on to Brompton Barracks at Chatham. From there he went to Hitchin in Hertfordshire, then to Rushmore Arena, from whence they were to go to France, but the advance party came rushing back, as Dunkirk had occurred, 1940. From then on they were putting up tents and huts all over Aldershot to accommodate those returning. Most of the survivors when they came off the trains were dirty, unshaven and unkempt, but Charles was most impressed when out of one train stepped a lieutenant and a group of 12 guardsmen, all that was left of a whole regiment, but with boots gleaming, shaven, cleaned and brushed as if on parade, and they marched away. A credit not only to the guards, but to Britain. Charles' next move was to Tring, and here they remained for about a year. On the 12th of March, 1941, Charles was granted 48 hours embarkation leave, subsequently sailing from Gourock on the troopship Strath Aird. They did not get very far, for on the 24th of March, the Strath Aird rammed the ship in front in the convoy. The Strath Aird had to return to Liverpool, but the rest of the convoy continued and were at Singapore. The Strath Aird sailed again on the 26th of April, and on the 5th of May the troops commenced wearing khaki drill, entering Freetown on the 9th of May. They left Freetown at 7:40 hours on the 14th of May, and crossed the equator at 2400 hours on the 15th, and, soon after, the Strath Aird left the convoy heading for Cape Town. When they were in the rough seas off the Cape of Good Hope, an 80-foot wave came and ripped off all the lifeboats, twisting the davits like bits of wire. They arrived at Cape Town to drop the High Commissioner on the 24th of May, and on the 27th arrived at Durban. They were granted shore leave on the 28th, and left Durban at 9:15 hours on the 31st of May. On the 9th of June they entered the Red Sea, arriving at Port Sudan on the 11th and leaving on the 12th. The temperature was 105 degrees in the shade. Arriving in Suez on the 14th, they disembarked on the 15th, and went 80 miles by lorry to camp at El Tahag. On the 27th, Charles had to go to Tel El Kabir, so he extended his journey, and went to see the pyramids and the Sphinx. On the 6th of July he visited Ismailia, then went on to Tufik. On the 24th of July they left Tufik for Kantara, where they slept on the desert for the first time. Their journey then took them to Beersheba, Hebron, up the Jordan Valley, Haifa, Beirut, over the mountains to the Bekaa Valley, Zali and on to Rayak. Here they stayed in Sergeant's Mess, A, Remount Depot. On September 18th, Charles left Rayak with the advance party, and on the 19th embarked on the Australian ship HMAS Hobart, bound for Alexandria, arriving on the 20th at 07:30 hours, when they transferred to the destroyer Kimberley. While on this ship they picked up survivors from Crete, who had been adrift for 3 days. At 2000 hours they arrived at Tobruk, and on the 21st of September Charles took over the water distillery. On the 24th they were shelled by the Italian artillery, commonly known as Bardia Bill for its geographical location, and the rest of 219 Company arrived. Further travels took Charles to Sidi Rezeg, Ahmed Nagar, Ranchi in April 1942, Tolagunj, Madras August 43, Bangalore, Vadaganholly, and in October 1943 to Jhansi. Here they built a sergeant's mess which became named the Wooden Spoon, because it was always stirring up trouble. It became known all over India and vehicles would go days out of their way in order to call in at the Wooden Spoon. About a year later they were moved down to the Kitchener lines, but they erased the Wooden Spoon before they left, and in 3 days the jungle had obliterated all traces. From the Kitchener lines the 219 Company were repatriated to Britain, sailing on the Duchess of Bedford, arriving at Gourock in March 1945 to be greeted by snow. The next few months Charles and his friends spent shunting around from one place to another, Chatham, Ripon, Pangbourne, etc., until in January 1946 he was finally demobbed. The Gongs? 1939-45 Star, Africa Star, Burma Star, Defense Medal, War Medal,